you're just cutting her off because you don't want to hear about her problems, because you just want to have a fancy little lunch with your other little shitty church friends. And I need to take a breath.
Every fall, my sister, cousins and a cousin sister-in-law have a weekend shopping excursion in our home city. We stay in a hotel, treat ourselves, shop for our children, and go out for lunches and dinners. It's a great time to reconnect. I have a sister, Wendy, who we do not invite. She is offended to the point of tears when she finds we have not invited her. My two sisters and I are very close in age, but Wendy hasn't been as close to this set of cousins as my sister and I have been through the years. We are all married, stay-at-home mums. Wendy is a divorced working mum with one young child. There are several reasons we do not include her. We know she doesn't have very much money for such an outing. She also does not have many of the same interests as we do. Her life is quite different from ours. We're not interested in what she has to talk about. She complains too much about her aches and pains and claims to have some kind of neurological disease that some of us feel is more psychosomatic than real, and which she uses to avoid getting up for church on Sundays. She also complains about her ex-husband who left her for another woman, but everyone knows it takes two to tango and she is not without fault.
Fuck you!
Yeah. We're all very active churchgoers while she only
Obviously.
while she only sporadically attends services. Plain and simple, she does not really fit in with us anymore. She takes it very personally, and last year even came over to my home unannounced, crying about it, which upset my children and caused my husband to threaten to call the police if she did not leave. Now she barely speaks to me and has told our relatives that I am a horrible person, even though I've helped her. How can we get her to understand that she should perhaps find another set of friends whose lives and interests align more closely with hers?
These aren't friends. This is family.
Oh, and
this is your...
She signed it sad sister.
You are a sad sister, but not in the way that you think. What a fucking asshole. Purposefully excluding their sister because she's divorced and they're judging her and they're judging her life. They're excluding her and then wondering why she's not close to people. They're making it exceedingly personal and then wondering why she's taking it personally. Judging her because she doesn't go to church often enough. Like, maybe you should spend some more time in church and stop being such a fucking asshole, because this is your sister who requires support. She was left by her husband. She is a single mother who is taking care of her child, who you said yourself doesn't have enough money, which is probably an assumption, and potentially has a disorder that you are discounting. So instead of being a Christian and supporting your sister through her difficult time, you're just cutting her off because you don't want to hear about her problems, because you just want to have a fancy little lunch with your other little shitty church friends. And I need to take a breath.
I knew this was going to happen. This is great.
I need to take a breath. She's a terrible, terrible person, and Wendy is better off without her. Absolutely. Wendy does need to cut out that whole family and go no contact, because they are toxic. We're not interested in anything she has to say. What makes you so fucking intriguing and exciting? You think talking about how little Braley got first place in a recital is interesting to everybody? Nobody cares about your life, but at least pretend to care about somebody else's, you selfish bitch. Amen. We're very church going. Clearly you've been paying attention in church instead of just sitting there probably judging what everybody else is wearing to church that day.
Yeah.
Open your fucking ears.
You might learn a few things.
I made my nose run. I got so excited.
I knew that was going to get you fired up.
Shitty people being shitty and then wondering why other people are calling them out on their shittiness and trying to get empathy for being shitty.
Yeah.
Anyone gonna side with you to say, like, no, you are perfectly well within your right to cut your sister out and exclude her from everything when she's at her darkest and needs the support from her family?
Yeah.
But keep shopping.
Yeah. And it's not even just that she got divorced or anything. She had no choice in the whole thing. Her husband fucked someone else and walked out on her and left her with a kid.
Like, it takes two to tango. Yeah, the two were the husband and the woman he cheated with, not this poor woman who was just trying to get by.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, what a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah. And then, so this basically, reached national newspapers. I think it must have come from the States, and it reached national newspapers in the UK because
I need to start reading the newspaper because I've never heard of it.
apparently she the sad sister was shocked and surprised by the agony aunt's response, Dear Amy. So this was Amy's this is Dear Amy's response. Dear Sad, first, let's establish that I agree with your sister. You are a horrible person.
Nice.
Obviously, you could do whatever you want and associate with or exclude whomever you want, but you don't get to do this and also blame the person you're excluding for not fitting in. The only way your sister would ever fit in would be for you to make room for her. You are unwilling to do that, and that is your choice, but her being upset is completely justified, and you'll just have to live with that. Perhaps this is something you could ponder from your church pew, because despite your regular attendance, you don't seem to have learned much. Yeah.
Bam.
Brilliant.
That was much more concise than my incoherent rambling.
Well, I think, but your rant, I'm not going to call it rambling. It was cathartic and concise, and it was spot on.
Thank you.
The only thing that you missed was that she's a cunt.
I did call her an asshole on a bench.
Yeah, several times.
Yes.
And it was funny that as I was reading it, you're getting more and more.
I had to simmer myself down.
Yeah.
Take deep breaths. Take deep breaths.